What is up, everybody? It is Alex, the boogeyman for Title Boxing Club here in Rochester, New York, and I have a question for you. Is your heavy bag swinging? No, it's not a prank call. It's a midweek musing. All right, so when we punch a hanging heavy bag, something that's not completely bolted into the floor, it's going to move a little bit. That is natural. Now, how much it moves depends very much on the way that you punch it, not how hard you punch it. That's an important distinction. The way you punch it. It will also depend on things like your momentum while you're punching, as well as the size and weight of the bag. So, if your heavy bag is swinging a lot when you punch it, is that a good thing? Or if your heavy bag is not swinging at all, is that a bad thing? The answer to the first question is no, and the answer to the second question is also no. Generally, you do not want a bag that is swinging around when you box, because generally, it's because of a bad habit, which is pushing your punches instead of snapping, whipping, throwing your punches like a boxer. We've talked about this in other focus points. So if I push the cross, right, I'm gonna throw a powerful cross, I'm gonna get my weight into it, but I'm leaving my hand out there on the bag. That will push the bag away. Now, this is not a good habit for boxing because it leaves you open. We want to get our hands back to our face as fast as we throw them out there, quicker even if we can. So I still want to throw a powerful cross, let's say, but I'm going to bring that hand back so fast that the bag doesn't move as much. And I can bring it back even faster. Punch through the target, bring the hand back fast. The bag won't move as much. Same thing true on the hooks, right? If you're just pushing into the hook, yeah, it's going to move quickly like that. But if it's a fast, snappy motion, the bag's not going to move as much. You're still hitting it as hard, though. You're still hitting it as hard, and you're able to punch more when you punch faster, of course, too. So the workout gets better. Now, if you move around and punch, that can also lead to a heavy bag swinging, because sometimes, again, it's the same problem, right? I'm stepping with my jab, and I'm leaving my hand out there as I move around. You leave your hand out longer because you're thinking about moving and punching at the same time. Now, moving and punching is most definitely a thing in boxing, but it's something I would say when you're learning, don't think too much about that. What I would rather you do is move right after you throw the last punch of the combination. So you throw that double jab cross and you're moving. Bam, 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 you're moving. Set your feet for that second and then move out of the way. Move the head, move the feet, yada, yada, yada. That's gonna be better for you. Moving while punching, again, is certainly something we do in boxing, but it can lead to some bad habits. The one I've talked about in the past a lot is the hook. If you're constantly moving to the side as you throw the hook, you're gonna get into some bad hook mechanics. I would rather you master that hook, work on the basic hook, work on those mechanics, using your body weight, everything, and then later, your hook will be better when you move and throw it. Whereas the inverse is not true. If you're always working on moving and throwing punches, they're not necessarily gonna get better, stronger punches. But if you work on the basics first, setting your feet, throwing them, when you have to move, they'll be better. Also, we can move into the bag, right? So if I'm gonna say just a jab, cross, even if I try to bring my hands back quickly, the bag's still gonna move because it's taking some of my momentum with it. There's no way to avoid that. If that happens though, that's okay. Stop the bag. Use your jab. You can throw a snappy jab, or you can even throw kind of a posting jab. You kind of steady it, and then go right back to the combo, and then steady it, and then right back to the combo, and then steady it. That's a good way to keep the flow of boxing, as well as practice that jab, practice using your lead hand. It can even be like a pawing hand. It can be a posting jab, something like that. Whereas if you stop and you do this, or use your feet to stop it, you've broken the flow of boxing. You've broken the rhythm, and you've broken the rhythm of your workout too, because you have to stop. So now, of course, you might say boogeyman, but if the bag is swinging and I'm practicing moving around and hitting it, aren't I hitting a moving target, kind of like I would if I was competing in a boxing ring? You could say technically, yes, you're hitting a moving target of the bag, but no, in terms, is that analogous to that kind of training? Because people don't move like heavy bags. Heavy bags move completely different. They're very slow. If you want to practice fighting somebody really slow who moves really strange, then yes, you could do that. But if you want to practice fighting a person and you want to visualize that, which I think is a great idea to do, what I would again go back to is trying to move around yourself. And once you decide to throw the punches, throw them really fast, quick, and then move, get out of the way. Because even still, no matter what, no matter how much somebody's moving, you're going to still have to, at some point, say, this is where I'm aiming for, this is where I'm swinging for. And the faster you can make that transition happen, the less chance they have of being somewhere else when you throw the punches. There are also other ways you can train that as well. Heavy bags are great for working boxing technique, power, cardio, strength, everything. But we also have a double in bag here. You can practice on that. Moves a little more jittery, a little quicker like a person does. Or of course, private training when we're doing mitts and practice drills. Now, speaking of drills, sometimes I know in classes, I'll do something where I'll have everybody push the bag and then move out of the way and throw a combo. I'm doing that not so much to hit the moving target, but more to teach you just about moving your feet when someone's coming in at you, getting out of the way. So again, I'll do those drills sometimes, but only in specific isolated areas because I want to work on that footwork technique. If you want to work on your punches, good solid punching fundamentals, learning how to punch, learning how to move, then your bag should not be swinging. Boxing community is divided on many things as far as training strategies, stuff like that, but this is not one of them. Nobody's going to tell you your bag should be swinging a lot. So if yours is, try some of the things we talked about. Try bringing your hands back quicker. Try not necessarily moving into your punches as much and instead setting your feet for even that split second, throwing good technique, and then moving out of the way. And that's my midweek musing.